Welcome to Simply Business. I'm your host, Taylor Lee, and I'm so excited to have you here. As a business consultant, I've helped countless business owners simplify their strategies and achieve their goals, and now I'm here to bring you this expertise right to your ears. Each episode, I'll be sharing tips and strategies to help you achieve your business goals without the overwhelm. I will also be chatting with business owners and industry experts to share their stories, insights, and lessons they've learned along the way. Let's dive in and simplify your business.
I would say my biggest thing, and as always, like I always talk from experience, but I was like, I need to find a purpose and a passion. Because without that, like if you don't have a why, I don't believe you're going to work to your potential or do the things that you're meant to do, because you're just going to be like a little lost puppy constantly. So I think trying to figure out your why and your passion and your purpose, and that's going to come from trial and error. Like that was me moving to Hobart for 2 months to take on this job by myself at 19 to figure out, okay, like I love change, I love traveling, like, but I hated this and I hated that. It's like literally trial and error. And then I was living with my auntie because I had troubles with my parents at the time. And so it was like constantly figuring out what was working for me, what wasn't, was trying different styles of training, different nutrition, like literally everything from nutrition and training to lifestyle and business and career, to then moving to Adelaide and like slowly just figuring it out. And having, for me, Jackson came to my life at a very pivotal point of, he had so much passion and drive and purpose. And beneath everything I was going through, there was all of that drive. I've always been a driven athlete and like had such like zest for life. But through this period, there was like nothing. Like I was just numb almost. And so digging back underneath all that crap was me going, okay, like there is drive to like succeed and do things. And something I was always passionate about was taking photos. As a kid, I would take photos of everything. I would keep every single photo anyone gave to me. And I found this like passion in like taking photos and like creating content. In school, I loved editing videos and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, like maybe like we just like see what happens. And so I actually released like my first, I always dabbled in like Instagram through school, but didn't really realize it could come a job, as like most don't, early stages of socials. And then I remember I released my first YouTube video, literally was like, Tori Story, this is my story basically. And I just sat down and like unleashed the whole entire journey. And I felt like I had the world lift off my shoulders, like being able to be vulnerable and authentic. I don't know where the balls came from for me to do that. But I just was like, I'm sick of feeling alone. And I think there's other people in this world feeling this way. And the second I published that video, I was like, oh, like I can breathe. Like I'm not having to like navigate this on my own anymore. Even though like I wasn't directly speaking to someone, I just knew that it would help someone, that they would also help me in a way. And then from there, I just realized like how much I loved being authentic and just like sharing my story. And I would say, if you're wanting to create a personal brand with a community, your biggest thing is going to be vulnerability and authenticity. Because if you can just show your true self, something I always say is like, there will always be someone who needs to hear what you have to say. And it can be so scary to like speak to your stories or put something online for other people to like judge or whatever is going on in your head. Flipping that and being like, regardless of who's judging or who's going to give me hate or whatever, there will be someone like that I could change someone's life. And I've had moments of people messaging me or meeting at events and stuff like that where it's like, you've literally changed my life. I'm like, well, you've actually changed mine. So it does go both ways, even though it's not we're talking every day, we're best friends type of thing. Sharing my story on socials was like therapy and like healing for me, because I was able to find those connections and create a community where I didn't feel alone. My biggest thing is like authenticity and vulnerability and just like continuing to be yourself through the process of whatever the hell your journey looks like. And it's going to be so many wrong turns, but also so many right pivots, and taking your audience along with that.
Yeah. And I think vulnerability is so important, that like we always hear about being authentic, right, and being ourselves. But I think so many people can get caught up in like making something 7 layers deep with the strategy, the how to. And like you have people in your DMs often asking like, how do I do it? How do I build it? And like I've got the same being in the space of teaching people. And yes, there's strategic things that you can do, but at the core, you have to take messy action of just doing the thing exactly like you did. Because if you get caught up in all of like the strategy, and this is where strategy can have a bad rap because people lose, like they become robotic and it's like, hi, I'm Taylor and this is my story. It's like not actually just being organic and raw with the way in which that you show up.
Yeah.
Then you can leverage from there.
Totally. And I think now having my personal brand as a business and my podcast business, I would say I try and really separate the two. I don't have strategy for Tori Story. I don't sit down and have a month of content planned out. I post every single day, whatever's happening that day in my life. I make a reel based off what I like and what makes me excited to edit. And that's just what I enjoy. That's just like my outlet, my way to connect with my audience. Yes, there is paid collabs in there. Like it's my full-time job now. But even with that, there's still no strategy. Like I'll get a brand collab and I'll be like, okay, like how do I feel inspired to like make this aligned with who I am and what I want to do? If it's not, I literally turn the job down and that's just how I work. But I don't have strategy within my socials because I just want to be so authentic. I tried for a while back like last year and I was like, it feels so icky because I'm not posting in real time. And that's what I enjoy and that's what my audience enjoys. For the podcast, there's so much more strategy. We've now gone from side hustle to business and we've planned 20 reels ahead and like, you know, there's so much more strategy and that gets to be a business, but I separate them because I've built personal brand off my life and what's happening in this moment. And so I keep that separate. And I think you've got to know what your goal is too. Like if you're building a social media to be the business, okay, sure, there might need to be structure and whatever. But if you're building a personal brand, focus on that. Focus on what it is that you want to share to bring in the right audience.
Yeah. And we were speaking about this yesterday, especially with like the podcast side of things. The way that you girls have done it is like, yes, not necessarily what people by the book would be like, okay, this is where you're going. But because you both just took messy action, you started your podcast and you guys didn't even live in the same state.
No.
You were recording in the car, just pumping out episodes consistently. Like you didn't make a cent on the podcast until like 2 years in.
Yep.
And it's like you actually just focused on community, you focused on like vulnerability, giving as much value as possible. And I think that's what so many people miss. It's like, oh, but I've posted consistently on Instagram for 5 weeks. Why am I getting anything in return? It's like this shit takes so much time.
And it's like if you look at almost any online business now, what are they focusing on? Their community, because their community is who buys their product. Whether you're a service person, product-based, like no matter what it is, almost every brand now is transitioning to like TikToks that they're going to relate to their audience and not like, and it's like even looking at, say, activewear brands, they're doing all the behind the scenes of what it takes to create the product because that's what their audience want to see and feel connected and involved in the journey and not just the end polished product. Yeah. And so that's what Raw Reality is, hence the name. It's like we just bring you along with everything and it was a hobby and it still is. It's still our passion. And it's like we just wanted to bring like-minded people together and that forever will be our focus and the forefront of the business.
Yeah, and I think it's just so cool to always lead with that and then everything else follows because now, like you're saying, you are being more strategic, you are creating challenges and all of the things and you've got the connection, the trust there as well, all from stemming it back to your story, which is really cool. I kind of want to change directions in terms of like your perspective on things because I think it can be really common that we can get challenged in life and I think our friendship group has a very similar outlook on this where a lot of people get challenged and they take it as an opportunity to like step back and it's like, okay, well no, like I'm being challenged in this moment and it's like a poor me mentality or like this is so fucking hard. Like I see it with business owners often, it's like this is hard. And even us yesterday talking about like how much we're like chuckers are fucking floaty, like drowning, but it's like we've both never like complained about that being a problem. And I think you have a really good perspective being the background that you've come from with how many challenges you've had. Talk to me about perspective and your belief with perspective around challenges and how you don't actually see it as a limitation. So whether it's been building your socials, like obviously you've been hacked, which I feel like definitely would have been a challenge. But outside of that, is there anything that comes front of mind?
Yeah. I would say transitioning to social media full time, it was scary and it was always a goal. But because I was forced into it, I was like, oh, but I'm not ready. But like, when was I ever going to be ready? Because social media it can stop at any point. It can be taken from you at any point. You might just not get brand deals that month. Like it's not sustainable. Not sustainable. It's not consistent.
Yeah.
Every month looks different. And so obviously you're taking the leap. And like once you do, it's all on you. And if you're not doing the work, you won't get the jobs, point blank. So I think that was a huge edge for me of like, an edge that I needed at the time because I was completely burnt out in other areas and uninspired. So I needed this push to be like, well, this is your time. If it's going to work, it's going to work. And it's been the best thing ever. So I would definitely say like that feeling of not feeling ready, but just like making it happen. And anyone I've spoken to taking on social media full time or going from their side hustle to making it full time, it's scary, but it's like you're just going to have to deep dive into that and figure it out. And like the whole like jump in the deep end and figure out how to swim. So I would say that. And then I would probably say of recent, our podcast going from a side hobby to a business and building a company with your best friend. There's challenges that come with that. We're not only best friends and have a business together, we live together. Yeah. So it's a lot and we've navigated it so seamlessly and so beautifully. And I think it's because we set the boundaries from the get-go. But I would say wanting to like make that full time for us to do more with it, but equally keep that passion alive like it was at the beginning and not just be like, it's just a business. Because it's not. It's about the community and it's about what we can create for others. So I would say like navigating that, which is like present. Yeah. Just currently going through it.
I don't actually have any wisdom to share.
Yeah, I don't have an answer. But either way, Lily and I are so big on like just figuring out as we go. We didn't know how to bloody record a podcast when we recorded our first episode. We just went to JB, picked up some mics and figured it out. And I think this day and age with socials, people think you have to be perfect before you do the thing. Yeah. You just need to have the why and the purpose and go figure it out. Yeah. Because no one's got the perfect answer. Not even the best business person in the world or, you know, the most successful people. They don't have the exact answer because the way they did it is going to be different to the way you do it.
Yeah, and it's the energy as well. I was speaking to Taylor about this when we recorded yesterday and just like, you know, hardship in business and challenges and things like that as well. And she's like, hard is literally a part of it. And you can't feel like you're going to have to avoid that. Like it's going to be scary going from, you know, building something on the side to going in full time. It's going to be hard transitioning. Like
totally.
You can't be naive to that. Like there's enough podcasts, there's enough information out there. Like it's going to be hard. And I think when you can come to terms with you get to choose the challenges that you have and you get to see what you're going to make a problem, like that's so empowering because it's like, no, well, this just gets to be a game versus like, fuck, I can't believe this is happening. It's like, this is literally just a part of it.
And it's, again, coming to perspective, it's like choose your hard.
Yeah.
Like right now we're drowning in work and, you know, we could be like, oh, fuck this and fuck that. I'm like, I'm literally working for myself. I'm drowning in work. It's incredible. The opportunities are literally endless right now. Sure, it's hard and we're working until 9 p.m. and we're getting up at 4 and working, like whatever it is. But fuck, like how good?
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, this is hard. It's work ethic. It's putting in the work. But like we've wanted this to happen and we're now in a position where 2 years ago we didn't think would be possible.
Yeah.
And so it's like when you keep reaching these new levels, you're constantly having to choose your hard. And it sometimes until you get to the point where it seamlessly happens, it's like you consciously have to make sure you're choosing the right hard because it's easy to give up.
And that wraps up another episode of Simply Business. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to today's episode. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please feel free to share it onto your socials and tag me. I love seeing all of your shares and feedback on the episode. If you're feeling extra generous, please feel free to follow me over on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok at Taylor Lee Consulting. And a like and subscribe wherever you listen to this podcast would be greatly appreciated. I'll catch you in the next episode.